son! I think my favorite poker face is the one with the sisters, now that I think about it. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Disney Parks Talk. I just got an alert that a new poker face is coming. That made me think of that. Welcome to another edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, Thursday edition, because Monday was a holiday. And let's get started talking about what's going on in the world of Disney theme parks and otherwise. I'm Doobie Mosley in the wrong position, co-founder of Laughing Place. Over there is Rebecca Mosley, my wife, and the other co-founder. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing well. So excited.
Below me today is the famous Mike Celestino. Yes, the one.
Hello.
And next to him is Jeremiah. How you doing, Jeremiah?
Good.
Quick alert, Rebecca will be joining us at the beginning of today's show, and then she has to jet because she is the one of us that actually has a life. So if you'd like to participate, use the chat. We always love to have you here. And thank you, Mouse Fan Travel, the official travel agency of Laughing Place, for always making Disney travel easy. We recommend them highly. Let's get started. Rebecca, you're starting us off today.
Okay, so those of us here, Laughing Place teammates know I have become a large fan of the Savannah Bananas. And so yesterday, they invaded Disneyland. Banana Land came to Disneyland, and I was there, had a blast. I kicked off the fun with, they had like lots of little treats around the park. So I actually grabbed a banana tart for breakfast over there at Jolly Holiday Bakery, at which point I realized, hey, they are appropriately parasoled, nice banana yellow there. So as I was enjoying my tart, I spotted the bananas walking around the park. I guess they were.
Was I there?
What?
Was I there?
No, they were walking around the park. They were doing all kinds of social content, but not only were they enjoying the attractions and, making little videos and TikToks and all that, but they were interacting with the fans. No matter where I went, I would see them like pausing and signing autographs. Their founder really has a fans first belief. He was heavily inspired by Walt Disney. So knowing that, seeing him, he's there in that banana yellow suit right there. It was thrilling to see him and the bananas there at the theme park, knowing his love of Walt. I wasn't sure what to expect because I know the bananas are wildly popular. Like, you don't just buy their tickets. You enter a lottery to be able to buy the tickets, but I wasn't quite prepared for the amount of people that were going to show up at Disneyland. It was an interesting mix of super passionate people. Maybe some of them hadn't been able to get tickets to their upcoming Anaheim series. So this was their chance to see the bananas in person. Other people, I think, may have thought they were waiting for a parade, but turned out they were waiting for the bananas. But I don't know, it was so much fun. Yes, Mr. Mike, please.
I have a question. This is a minor league baseball team from Savannah, Georgia, right?
This is a unique sport. It is a sport called banana ball. It was founded by this gentleman here, Jesse Cole. It has a unique set of rules.
Dressed as Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber.
It has a unique set of rules. They now have 5 teams. I think they're going to expand to 6 next year. Savannah Bananas are among that founding team, as well as the Party Animals are the other group that they often have played against. But now this weekend they're going to be playing against the Firefighters. So Disney wisely had the Firefighters doing some fun over at the fire station. A lot of them were wearing that a button with that familiar Boyer artwork of Mickey shaking a firefighter's hand. So you can see kind of up there on the firefighter jersey in the background there. The other thing I got a kick out of was how many of these guys were wearing first visit buttons. They gave them buttons to let everyone know that it was their first visit. We had scheduled was a dance party moment at the Sleeping Beauty Castle, because among the things that happen at these Savannah Banana games, Mike, lots of dancing. it's like part dance party, part variety show, competitive baseball also happening, but you do it with a flair. Unlike the Globetrotters or wrestling, it's not like a predetermined outcome. It's actually, you know, a competition. You're unsure who's going to come away the victor. They're at the Sleeping Beauty Castle after they did the dance number that you all have seen, because we've got a full YouTube video of it on the site. They were signing autographs with the people who've been waiting there. The Dad Bod Cheer Squad, they were there. So not only the players, but they also brought a lot of the supporting people that you see at the games. Around me, the kids were super excited to see Stilts, the tallest baseball there amongst the banana ball players. So yeah, it was just I had way too much fun, ate way too much banana flavored stuff. Started off with the tart, later on had some whipped banana dip. So yeah, later in the day after the dance party, they had a cavalcade. I know Doobie's got the video of that. Once again, high energy. I've seen a lot of, we've seen a lot of athletic groups come to the park. You know, after you win the Super Bowl, you show up at Disneyland, or after you win the World Series, you show up at Disneyland. But these guys not only were, you know, walking the parade route, but a lot of them were giving high fives to the people in who had been waiting along the route. There were flips happening. There were, also the Ducks also parade there too. That's true. It was just, I don't know. It fit perfectly with the whole Celebrate Happy 70th dynamic that's happening there at Disneyland. Just high energy, a lot of joy. Yeah, I had such a good time, you guys.
It is cool. We got to show this video real quick. During the cavalcade, once they reached down to what's this? Town Square.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, okay. Here we go. This is so good, you guys.
You can talk.
I was over at the partner statue filming. Gideon was down by Town Square. The ump, the famous ump, grabbed Gideon's coonskin cap. He's a twerking ump, so he had to, you know, show off his skill set there, his unique talent that he brings to Banana Ball. So there we go.
There's Banana Ball. So like Rebecca said, Banana Ball is based on baseball, but it is an entirely different sport. And while she hates this description, I'm still going to give it. They're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, with the very important distinction that they actually are playing to win. It's not just an exhibition, but it is meant to be entertaining as well as competitive. And it is extremely entertaining. And they now have a relationship with ESPN and Disney. So their games are on ESPN and Disney Plus. So hopefully that, which is, you know, would explain why they're at Disneyland and why you may be hearing more about them lately on LP. So hopefully this is something we'll continue, because it is a ton of fun. And I look forward to seeing one of these games in person sometime.
Mike, it's just not as cool really as basketball. That's what we got to take.
No, I get it. I get it now. It's like baseball, but entertaining. I understand.
No!
What did your father do for a living, Mike?
One of the really special treats was after they did the dance, the announced "Hey Baby" signature dance. They were actually filming for Disney right there at the castle, and you guys got to see this kind of mashed together as a clip that's right now on socials this morning, and it's them performing to Celebrate Happy. And so we got to, you know, see them set this up and do it a couple of times for their socials. It was happened right after the Hey Baby moment. And I don't know, Mike, how you feel, but Celebrate Happy, I am so in love with that tune. It's an earworm, but in a good way. It brings a joy to the park, and like, you know, kind of pops in and out here and there. You might hear it during the cavalcade. You might hear it in the Esplanade. The band will play it on Main Street. I don't know. Is it jumping out at you in a positive way? Because I'm loving it.
I think when I try to remember how it goes, I can only think of the Minions Pharrell Happy song. So
here, let me help you out.
That answers that. Just a second of it.
No, I can't hear it.
You can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
You guys aren't able to hear? Oh, because of your sharing and me sharing, huh?
I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Okay. All right, so
I know I've heard it.
That was Disneyland yesterday, and in an oblique way, that's a part of the 70th anniversary. I don't think we've done one of these shows since the 70th officially kicked off. We're not going to go too deep into it because it's like old news by now. But I do want to talk specifically about the Magic Key experience. Now, I know, Mike, you did a really nice article on that. We're going to talk to you about it. But before Rebecca leaves, because she is on her way out, Rebecca, you got to try out the Magic Key. It's not called Magic Key. What is this thing called?
Key to Disneyland.
Key to Disneyland.
Key to Disneyland. What did you think of it, Rebecca?
It is way more fun than I imagined it would be. They've done a really great job of
Let me do it. Okay.
they've done a really great job of bringing these keyholes around the park. Some of them are easier to spot than others. Their color schemes all fit into the various lands that they exist in. But we had a good time. I think my favorite aspect is, look, I mean, it is so bright and shiny. Once you get all of the keys, I'm gonna make myself big, haha. So see, and all the colors light up, and then it plays music. So you can like have your own little Fantasmic dance party at home.
As if we don't already.
Huh?
As if we don't already.
So yeah, I was surprised. We actually, okay, first off, it was super crowded the days we were there at the park. Massive wait times in comparison to what had been the past few days. But the keyholes, we didn't encounter very many waits. What am I supposed to call them? That's what they are.
Disney has ruined the word holes. I'm sorry.
So,
They even made a movie about it.
Yes, that's true.
so
Very nice, Mike. 10 points for Mike.
Just a couple of the spots did we end up waiting, and even then it was, just maybe 5-10 minutes tops. We didn't wait very long at all. The hardest part actually was in getting the key, because while the first day I was in the park, Memorial Day, they were everywhere. I could just pick it up on Main Street. I could pick it up at Adventureland. I could pick it up the next day. Only Disney Showcase had them. You couldn't find them anywhere else in the park at that time. And the way they were talking was as if they were not plentiful. But I was there Tuesday, they still had them for sale. I was there Wednesday, they still had them for sale. So I'm interested to see kind of how it evolves over time. But can I just say, if it were me and I was doing this, I would try and wait and do it in twilight. I don't know about you, Mike, but because the key itself is so much prettier when it's not bright out, and the kiosks, I'll call them keyholes, they have like little lights and stuff that happen, and I think it's just easier to see in the evening. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think I mean, I only got to do it during the day, but I bet it is cooler looking in general at nighttime.
Yeah, because that portion that you see around the keyhole, it'll illuminate and stuff, and then they have like effects around, like some are shining like gobos in the background, and some are shooting bubbles. So, and like I say, the key itself, each of the lands has a unique color connected to it, and it's just, I don't know, it's more fun when it's not quite so bright and you're fighting with that to see what's going on with your key.
By the way, I want to point out
It didn't
that
look
Alex,
like that anywhere. We had no lines like this.
Oh yeah, this was the
days we were
first
doing
day.
it. Yeah.
Alex really went above and beyond in putting all the keyholes next to each other.
Yes.
Cool to compare them in that way.
And we between myself and Anita, we ended up with 3 keys, and we ended up getting the Mansion pin, the Jungle Cruise pin, and the Honey Pot.
Cool.
So, yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Rebecca. I know you've got to run.
Yep.
So you may run.
Bye.
Bye.
You can walk. It's okay.
And Mike, like I said, you put together this article on the experience, and just
I took the
anything
photos. There's my pin. Alex put together the article though.
Anything more you wanted to say about the experience? Oh, nice, of doing it.
Yeah, I also thought it was a lot of fun. I think the one issue we're encountering is I don't think you're able to reset the pin and reset the key and do the whole thing again. There was some confusion about whether or not you could do that. And
yeah, I think at least I know you were there first day. Rebecca was there more recently, and I'm almost positive she said that the key can be reset and be done again. Obviously, you don't get another pin, but
right.
But you can do it again. So maybe that's something either they clarified or changed or something.
Probably the way you can get the pin without doing the holes is a reset for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Rebecca said that is a possibility. So, yay. Anything else you want to mention just about the 70th in general, Mike?
Oh gosh, we haven't talked about that at all in here, huh?
Right, but it's been a bit, so we don't want to go. We don't have to go piece by piece. But
I keep recommending the Small World projection show. That was probably one of my favorite parts.
Okay, are you happy to see Paint the Night back?
Yeah, that was fun too. Really great.
What did you think of that original Esplanade music?
I didn't mind it, but I understood why people were not thrilled about it. And I think it's better the way they're doing it now, where that only plays at nighttime and there's other more exciting stuff happening during the day.
Yeah, that was quite a shock. I noticed it. I was there during the media event as well, and that music was just, it literally sounds like a music box. But it was also very soothing, and I enjoyed it very much, but it just did not say, celebrate happy. So I think they made the right decision. Okay, so that's the 70th going on. There's another media event on the other coast we'll be talking about very shortly with Jeremiah, assuming he's awake. Okay, but before that, let's bring on my favorite person in the world, Tony
Gideon.
Oh. How you doing, Tony?
I say it should be Gideon, right, Jeremiah? Like, it should be Gideon.
It's not. Tony Betty is my favorite person in the entire world. And no one loves animation more than Tony, at least in my life.
Well, I'll tell you, that might be true for the animation building, which we're about to talk about.
It's definitely true of the animation building. So I'm just going to toss it to you, Tony.
Well, special thanks to Mike, because I'm in Orlando. But there have been some changes, as I have said, and some ominous texts to friends. There have been some changes, ... to the animation building. Now, a lot of people consider the animation building 3 separate attractions, but I consider it one because of that stunning lobby in which you can access those other attractions, which has a average about 30-minute loop inside of memorable moments and art from Disney and Pixar classics. And they have altered it substantially for the first time in a decade.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of existing film. How hard can it be?
Well, we will get into that, because I feel like they should just be adding to it. They shouldn't be taking things out, which they have over the almost 25 years of that park. It is. I was noticing that earlier. Thanks, Nikki. But yeah. But Mike did me a big favor and sat down for, I believe it's 34 minutes plus.
Well, I was standing, but yes, I think it's roughly 34 minutes.
There's couches in there for a reason, Mike.
I wanted to get as wide a shot as possible.
But yeah, they have added 6 different movies to it. Let me see if I can do it offhand. Coco, Soul, those are the Pixar ones. And then from Disney Animation, you have Princess and the Frog, Zootopia, Moana, and Encanto.
Wow, look at you.
Yep.
But
at the cost of 3.
Yes.
3 have left us. Pinocchio's Hi Diddle Dee Dee, When You Wish Upon a Star is still in there. And Olaf in Summer, which I stood up and cheered. And then lastly, the one I sat back down and cried, almost literally, was Lady and the Tramp, which is why I threw that picture in there, which is one of my favorite photos that I've taken in that building.
So I didn't know they had been removing stuff. I read this article and I couldn't put it down. Emperor's New Groove has been gone for a while.
Emperor's New Groove has been gone for, I think, definitely at least 10 years, if not more.
That is this building.
It was before the 2012.
Yeah. So that was that one in Atlantis were, I think, among the first to go. Which was really cool, because the Emperor's New Groove one was really good because it had spotlights and stuff going across the ground in multiple colors, which they have retained for other other
feel like-
moments. But
Yeah, that was the quintessential one to me, but apparently no one else because it's gone.
I heard you mention earlier that was the first one you saw in there.
I feel like it must be because when you mention animation, that is literally the thing that comes to mind. Cusco, and it's not like I've seen the movie a bunch of times.
Yeah,
So-
that was back when they still used actual like slide projectors, right? For the background shots. Now they're all digital projectors all around, but they
Did not
used
know that.
they used actual slide projectors. So the only screens that moved were the smaller ones. The rest were stagnant
Yeah,
art shots. So with Emperor's New Groove, I distinctly remember it was the overhead shot when it like the kick line of Cusco and the guards, and then you had all the different like temple art and stuff around him. But yeah,
bring them back. Bring them back.
I said that in the article too. I'm like, now you have ones that have the cult status, like Atlantis, like Emperor's New Groove, that if you threw them in that loop, there are like adults that would go crazy for it too.
Can't
But
believe I haven't been showing the video this whole time. Shame on me,
Yeah.
Doobie. But there it is. Mike Celestino, 34 minutes and 5 seconds of really hard work. Oh,
Yep. If he had to hear people talking about, I don't know how many times I heard somebody ask when the next Turtle Talk with Crush is in that video after an announcement that said in 5 minutes, Turtle Talk with Crush.
Hey, someone waved at you. This is so cool. Yeah, this is great. I'm glad
That's
it's
this
still around.
utopia moment. Yeah.
I'm just thankful this thing is still here. I mean, we're 25 years of DCA and the animation building survived. So
Yes.
Yeah.
So I almost talked about this, but I was focused on the courtyard. But none of the original opening things are in there outside of
Oh,
Sorcerer's Workshop, which is ever decreasing.
there's no more Beast Library.
Beast Library is gone. That's Disney Dreamers Academy now. Ursula's Grotto went away when they brought in Anna and Elsa's character meet and greet to the old exhibit space that was once home to the Pixar Zoetrope.
This thing is trapped in 2001 in my mind, apparently.
Well, it sounds like you haven't visited since 2001 because there's a lot going on. Animation Academy used to be a show drawn to animation.
I had a reception in here during the last IAPA that was held at DCA. I actually got to
that's
eat
really
here,
cool.
as you mentioned that. Yeah, I got to eat in
Yeah.
here, and honestly can't remember if the videos were going during it. Sadly, but it is a
One
cool
Man's
place.
Dream, oddly, we're about to see again come back in July. But One Man's Dream played briefly in this building after Back to Neverland left, and now it's Turtle Talk with Crush.
Cool.
So,
Well, there you go. Again, that article, Tony's love letter and lament to animation is on Laughing Place.
it's mostly I wanted to like make a petition.org link at the bottom of it to have people go in and just not so much, oh, we missed this one. It's just, why aren't we adding to it? Just add. Don't take, just add.
I agree. So in that spirit, let's take Tony away. Thank you very much for joining us, Tony. And,
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you next time. All right, Jeremiah, it is time to get to the East Coast. You've been so patient down there. Do you have anything to declare today?
I declare this shirt rocks. It is the hyenas and Scar is on there. It's a beautiful Roosevelt shirt. Definitely got quite a bit of notice, especially from a Dino Institute intern today.
And you had a song dedicated to you today, Jeremiah. I saw that. That was very nice.
Yes.
All right. Let's start off.
Cool Kid Summer.
Cool Kid Summer. But I want to start off with the two new shows, the Villain Show and the Mermaid Show, in either order.
Let's start off with Little Mermaid: A Musical Adventure. This is, whenever somebody asks about this show is great. Just like Doobie with his head stuck in 2001 in the animation building, you will walk in there and go, wait, this is different. What they did, the attraction closed with COVID, did not reopen. Those of you who ever saw the original Mermaid show know that it was trapped in 1992. Still had lasers, still had a water curtain.
I loved it.
It was very, that and Beauty and the Beast were the two shows when I tell people, I'm like, if you don't know the movie, you are out of luck going to see these shows, because it is literally 15 minutes of highlights. Now the show is a complete story-ish. They added in the Daughters of Triton song, which they removed Fathoms Below. If you know the film, that was the song that opened up the film. Now they put in the Daughters of Triton to introduce Ariel, and she's not there. Then we go to the grotto. We hear, Part of Your World. We hear Under the Sea. We hear Kiss the Girl. The show is alive. Like, they kept the puppets. They kept some of the great stuff. The one thing about it that I always say is just a little weird. It isn't based on the Little Mermaid film. It is based on the show that was based on the Little Mermaid film. Because if you've seen the show, there's a giant Ursula puppet. What they did was they scanned the Ursula puppet. When Ursula appears in the three-dimensional space, it is the Ursula puppet. But then they have projections that are computer generated. That is the scan of Ursula. That video, I was sitting in the back row. I couldn't tell which one was the real Ursula and which one was the puppet or the projection Ursula. So
wow,
it's very interesting how they did it. It's still a great show, lots of fun. The pre-show, Doobie, you may be still stuck in the 90s where they used to tell you the story that they stopped doing a decade ago. The pre-show's now just a box. You just wait in the little room, you go in, you sit down, you go through the show, which before the show was roughly 15 minutes. Now it's 20 because, like I said, they added Kiss the Girl. It's still amazing. Head over to our Instagram and check out some amazing videos of it. It is a show that is going to be staying there for as long as possible.
Wonderful, because I love the original and I'm so scared it would never come back, and it has come back and even better.
Yes.
According to Jeremiah. Now, the other big show that they've added is something called Villains Ever After, which for some reason YouTube hates us. But
Villains Unfairly Ever After.
Thank you very, very much.
Yes.
But at least X lets us have it up. So talk about this one.
This show... So I had really high hopes for this show going into it because I love the villains. People had seen the show and were poo-pooing it. So I kind of walked in with okay, maybe it's not the greatest. It is so much fun. The biggest problem is you're watching a video, this all looks very flat to you.
Right.
In there, this stage is massive. The mirrors, the frames are everywhere. There is more to see. As you can see, that is a full me doing as full as I could. And you still miss out on things as I zoom in on Cruella. They focus on the magic mirror and how all these villains are saying that they are the most misunderstood. And 3 villains have broken through the magic mirror: Cruella, Captain Hook, and Maleficent. And they do their own little numbers. The opening song is what's not letting YouTube show it for anybody, because it's one of those songs, just like Let It Go, that Disney found a way to make sure nobody puts up.
Okay. So it's not just us.
No. And overall, throughout the show, on the mirror, the projections, the walls, the frames, 85 different villains appear in the entire show. So it is not one that you can see just one time and be satisfied. Also, they did something that is very Disneyland Paris-esque. The crowd votes for the most misunderstood villain. So of the 3, it could change between each show.
Awesome. So two great new additions, both to Hollywood Studios,
Yes.
according to Jeremiah. What else did you find out about Cool Kids Summer?
Well, the Cool Kids Summer is a promotion that's running through the entire summer in all 4 of the parks, as well as some of the resorts. Each of the parks have different activations. Magic Kingdom has Stitch on the Tomorrowland stage with the DJ and 2 of the dancers to get everybody pumped up in the not cool summer heat. And then in the circus area, they have the Big Top Bash, which is under the tent, and it's a DJ. And again, they have games to play, crafts. It's that one is probably the most fun of all of them. Then we head over to Epcot, which is Goofy Core in Communicore Hall. They changed out the Communicore Hall so it looks like it's a giant game board, like Chutes and Ladders, that type of thing. So the carpet is all that, and in the center is the DJ stand. DJ plays, the Goof Corps come out, which are the dancers, get kids going, and then Goofy comes out and plays 3 different games with the kids, including Goofy Limbo and Goofy Says. So that one's a fun one. You head over to Disney's Hollywood Studios. They have the animation courtyard. There's the Goof Corps in Communicore Hall. This is before it opens, so there aren't that many people in there, but it is great AC. So put your kids in there to dance and you sit down. Disney's Hollywood Studios has the Get Animated, the dance party inside the Disney Junior stage with some of the Disney Junior characters, even though it's not Disney Junior. And they relocated some of the characters out to do meet and greets over there, such as Daisy, Max, and Chippendale are all in the old meet and greet areas of Doc McStuffins, Vampirina, and Fancy Nancy, who are all inside dancing now. And, of course, Roadster Mickey.
Oh, man, I've watched so much of that, Rollick and Roadster Mickey. So definitely, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this one has crafts. It has roaming characters. There's a magician. There's a juggler. There's a storyteller. So this one is really the focus. I think it goes along with the new shows over there.
So this is really, really, really geared towards kids.
Yes.
This is not a big production thing. Just something to do. I remember when they had the Wiggles come and play Disney's Hollywood Studios, and another similar band that I can't think of the name. So yeah, Cool Kid Summer. And as we mentioned earlier, Mouse Fan Travel, they'll take care of you. Make sure you get the best experience for Cool Kid Summer. Make sure you don't call it Cool Kid Summer, because that's just not right. So yeah, we recommend them. Kyle had a question. How does the voting work in the Villain Show?
It's majority rules. Throw back to anybody that remembers. It is pretty much the crowd votes via noise. And the funny thing is,
the annoy literally is just clapping.
Clapping, yeah.
Okay.
So there are the 3 villains, and those are the only live actors. They have the magic mirror kind of as the narrator. And when they do the voting, you can see there's a pause in the program where whoever is in the back has to hit the button of whichever winner is, because it's kind of like the mirror's talking, and then he pauses and you just kind of see him go, and it looks like our winner is. So it's quite enjoyable for me to giggle at that.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Reporting Cool Kid Summer. Anything at Animal Kingdom you need to tell us about from today?
I was over at Animal Kingdom today. As far as the Cool Kid Summer goes, this is really the least focused on. There is a new badge for the Wilderness Explorers that you can get by doing some crafts, and that's located next to the Gideon Rocks, next to Yak and Yeti in the gazebo. Rock. And then they have a sing-along with the Dino Institute intern, which is lots of fun if people stop and get into it. Today I was one of the few people that got into it, and everybody's kind of walking by, and he's like, "Hey guys, where's your name?" And they're just like, "We don't want to play."
We did some freestyle rap with Jeremiah.
But in order to do the focus of the Cool Kid Summer at Disney's Animal Kingdom, you have to go out to Conservation Station, and they have a crafts area that is all about the Florida pollinators. That's not the banana ball team. That's they talk about butterflies and bees, and you can paint your own, or color your own headband or wristband. So
pollinators.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeremiah. We will have more from you later, but let's get back to the other coast, but not Disney. Not Disney. Mike Celestino, what did you do today?
We were invited over to Universal City Walk, LA, right outside of Universal Studios Hollywood, to check out the newly opened, grand opening was today, Escapeology live escape game. It's a collection of very cool looking escape rooms inside there. I got a tour. I got to see all the escape rooms. I didn't get spoilers for any of the solutions or the answers, but I did get to look at all of them. and take a nice tour around the building. It's very cool. They did a really good job transforming this from, I think it used to be a restaurant there.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
I'm just kidding.
yeah, that was a pirate one, and this is a haunted mansion one.
Oh,
Haunted house. Yeah.
Don't say Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Be careful.
That's inside the pirate one.
This is elaborate.
Yeah, they looked really cool. They looked like they were really well crafted.
Legend of the Hidden Temple. one.
Exactly.
Very
That's
similar,
exactly what that is.
Olmec. Very.
That was
cool.
called Seven Deadly Sins. There's a Batman one.
Yeah,
There's 2 licensed rooms. One is Batman and one is Scooby-Doo. That's a Scooby-Doo one.
Didn't they? I thought on the outside they used to have the Ghostbuster one, like on the promotion posters for it.
No Ghostbusters at this one.
Are you an escape room aficionado, Mike Celestino?
Yeah, I've done one with you, with the Mosley family. I've done one with Kyle in Orlando.
That's funny. I saw Kyle put this. I've done an escape with Mike C. I'm like, oh, that sounds like fun. Completely forgot that I did one with you too.
Yeah.
We just did a VR tour, Mike and I.
So,
that's right. The Void.
Do you plan to experience this? You think?
Yeah. So the thing is, they actually were expecting me to go there and do it today, to do an escape room, but then I showed up. It was just me. I think they were expecting me to bring some people with me to do the escape room, but they invited me back when I can
I'll
get
be
a
there
group
next
together.
week, Mike.
Okay, well maybe we'll wait for that. But yeah, we're gonna arrange it and go, and I'll write a review of. I think I want to try the haunted house or the pirate one the most.
Yeah, just do it and call it Haunted Mansion the whole time. I think that'd be
Yeah.
great. Some other Disneyland tidbits or West Coast tidbits going back to Disneyland Resort, Storyland Boutique. So you saw this. This looks so cool in pictures, Mike, but you got to see this in person, right?
Yeah, they did a good job transforming this store in downtown Disney to the Disneyland 70 celebration. Lots of new decor and signs all over the place. Yeah.
Including the very cool Storyland sign with this retro theme that they like to do. The Putt Putt Pixar Mini Golf, which is, so I went to Paradise Pixar Pier Hotel when I was last there a couple weeks ago. Pixar Place Hotel, goodness, sorry, Tony. And saw this, and this is just trippy. It is just golf in a room. And yet it was so busy when I was there. This thing is hopping. People are enjoying this. So they have extended this through summer and maybe beyond, who knows, because people are playing it. So yay. I love when a simple thing like this makes people happy. It's inside, it's air conditioned, it's reasonably priced, and it's fun. So yay. And then I wanted to make sure and mention just a very cool thing. I was at the Disneyland Resort on Memorial Day. I think you were too, Mike. And throughout, were you, Mike? Am I right?
No, Memorial Day.
My wife was. Throughout, which I confuse you and my wife all the time. It's not pretty.
The mustache.
That wasn't very nice. So for Memorial Day, they had throughout the resort, I want to make sure I call it right. I think it's the Fallen Soldier. Is that what it's called? Yes, the Fallen Soldier Reserve tables. There's like a set way these are done. It has a deep meaning, which we did cover in our article. Every piece of this has a meaning. But this is for Memorial Day. A lot of restaurants do it, and several at the Disneyland Resort did, where they just have a table set up just like this and roped off in remembrance of Memorial Day. This one, as you can see, is in what's the name of this restaurant, Mike?
Red Rose Tavern.
Thank you, Red Rose Tavern. This one is over at Craftsman's Grill at the Disneyland Grand Californian Hotel. And this looks like Carnation, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, thank you, Disneyland, for doing this. And of course, they had a special flag retreat as well. And I believe Walt Disney was about as patriotic as a guy you'd ever want to meet. And so it's nice to see that continuing on here at the Disneyland Resort. Jeremiah, since I last talked, not since I last talked to you, but since we last did this show, you went to Epic Universe for opening day.
I thought we talked about that.
We talked about that on the morning show.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about that on this show.
Yes, I went to Epic on opening day. I will flat out say it was probably one of the best days I've ever had in a theme park in the world. The low crowds were nice. The temperature was perfect. We had no rain. We had cloud cover. It was just so nice. And it was one of those days where, and I've said this a few times, I'm lucky enough, just like Mike, we know the community of the different websites, we know the people there, and I happened to walk into the Wizarding World, and Miranda from Disney Food Blog was there, and she had all their breakfast items, and she's like, I can't finish this all, do you want to join me? We sat there for about an hour just watching people walk by, because we didn't have to rush to do everything, because there wasn't a lot of the wait times. Harry Potter and the Battle for the Ministry went down. This is all of Benji's stuff.
I'm just gonna scroll. You keep talking.
It had gone down in the morning, so it wasn't like I needed to get there, and everything else was just 15-20 minute waits. So it was just so relaxing. And then I finally got to do Harry Potter and the Battle for the Ministry of Magic. And I will flat out tell you, I don't understand how that attraction works. And that's saying something. Yeah. People have said, oh, it's like Spider-Man, or it's like this. No, this is just mind-bending. It's not my favorite attraction. That right there is my favorite attraction in Epic Universe.
Being which one?
The Monsters Unchained. The ride broke down while I was in that room, and if you have any sensitivity to strobes or anything, I don't, and I was going insane. Because it's just this over and over again. Because the whole story is Victoria Frankenstein is trying to control the monsters, and she has Dracula. That video, I was in the right place at the right time.
That's so cool. This park looks. This park is so interesting because the reviews are all over the place. I mean, no one says it's a terrible park.
Yeah.
But there are people who say this is it. This is the pinnacle of theme parks, and then there are people who are like, this is good, but it's just there's not that much to do, and operational, like things like shade, it's just so bad. It's such a wide range of opinions on this park. I'm so anxious to experience it for myself.
Well, one of the things that we all have to remember is there are 13-ish attractions at Epic Universe. Doobie, how many attractions were there at Animal Kingdom when that opened in 1998?
No, for sure, but no one's claiming Animal Kingdom's the best theme park in the world. This one had so much hype that that's why it's getting the scrutiny it is, because there were people when this was announced and they looked at the lineup and how incredibly attractive and said, this is just going to blow everything else out the water.
No, it is a great theme park. It is a great addition to the Universal portfolio there. But I say this all the time. I love Universal. Universal is my home. That's where I worked. First job ever. This park is the epitome of a Universal park. It has great theming and great attractions, but each land has one, maybe two things. So on a busy day, it's just going to be hellish.
Are they still limiting attendance?
No, so that was one of the things. They only sold for the first week the AP preview tickets and guest staying at the hotel. So the first day, as everybody saw, was very low capacity because they only sold a certain amount of tickets. The first week was technically sold out because they sold all those the APs. Now anybody can walk up and buy a ticket right now to go into the park. So we've been seeing the wait times increasing. The park is also, as I said, 13 attractions roughly. That's not a good thing to see right now because of the storm.
These are the wait times on
storm.
Yeah. So the
also
wait times
having
on Laughing
Bowser's
right now.
Junior challenge on there is just painful to look at.
It's only 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it is very. If there is weather, it is a Universal park. You are out of luck with the exception of 1.5 shows and 2 attractions that are inside.
Cool. Mike, you excited about your visit to Epic, whenever that may be?
Yeah, we don't have anything planned right now, but I would like to see it at some point.
Do you expect it to be the best theme park you've ever been to? No, because you've been to Disney Sea.
Can't argue with that.
All right. Anything else you want to mention, Mike, before we say goodbye today?
No.
Okay. Jeremiah?
No, I think I'm good. I'm excited. Mike, you and I will have to go do something next week when I'm out there.
What
So-
days are you going to be in town?
I arrive on Saturday and leave next Saturday on my birthday. I'm
Should
flying
come
home.
to trivia Wednesday
I
night.
was going to say Wednesday night. And, yes, that is probably on my list right now.
Are you on vacation, Jeremiah?
No, I am working, but you know, working in California for me is driving an hour to Disneyland for random things that Mike didn't have a reservation for or something.
Okay. Well, you enjoy that. And thank you for joining us again, everyone, this week, including Rebecca and Tony. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.